Good evening. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals and ConciergeBullion.com in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got the live LBTS camera up from the Windjammer. Nice little hotel near the pier here, not too far from me. As I say, as you walk down this pier this way, a couple blocks and head west, you'll see my store on the right-hand side. And if you're there right now, you can catch me sitting inside my store doing this video as we speak. Well, actually, the video's not live, so not as we speak. Few people out enjoying tonight's beautiful weather. It's still like 84 degrees, and what time is it? Like, let me take a look here. It's 6 o'clock, and it's still 84 degrees out there, but what a beautiful evenings we've been having. The ocean has been absolutely flat, calm. And as they say, the calm before the storm, although it looks like we're not going to get the storm here. Somebody's going to get it, and it looks like Puerto Rico's done got it, and it's going to travel up the up the Atlantic coast northward. And again, this is kind of like the calm before the storm, folks. And the storm is a-coming. And what I talk about storms all the time here in South Florida. We've been pretty lucky so far to date. So has most of you other folks that live like in the Carolinas and such along this area, that we do get our hurricanes on the east coast of the United States. And it's really, folks, it's not about being fearful, but being ready to react in the right way. That's kind of what I talk about when I talk about being prepared. What has this got to do with precious metals? Well, it's the same thing. The reason that you want to be prepared, it's not about being fearful. You're not buying gold, silver, and firearms, most of you, because you're fearful, but you're ready to react in the right way. And in order to react in the right way, you have to have the right tools. And that includes hurricanes, economic storms. It's the same thing. Hurricanes, you got to have your water, you got to have your backup power, you got to have your gasoline to back up that power, unless you're able to generate solar, which, what's solar going to do in a storm? But again, really, it's things you're not afraid of. Most of the time, I mean, everyone's afraid of hurricanes. Everyone's afraid of economic storms, because in hurricanes, you just don't know who. You just don't know what that hurricane is going to take out. And the same thing about economic storms. Economic storms in the world now are like these huge, massive hurricanes, global hurricanes that take out, millions and millions and millions of people. Not unlike a hurricane. And really, folks, it's all about being prepared, as I said. And owning precious metals is really about wealth preservation and being prepared. What does that have to do with anything? Well, again, hurricane for you South Florida folks. We're looking at the end of our hurricane season. Got another 2 months to go, if I'm correct. Officially, maybe a month and a half or so. But Fiona just getting done with Puerto Rico, heading north up this way. Not quite sure where it's going, but I do hope it heads offshore this way and throws a lot of good surf to all the surfers on the east coast of Florida. And that's our best surf here on in the Atlantic, is really the hurricane swells that we get from hurricanes like this. And again, it looks like it's forecast to go up. And for you folks that live in this hurricane region here along the eastern seaboard, I got to share a little secret with you here. Not a secret, he's been out for a little while, but if you watch the Weather Channel or your local news for weather, they suck. I'm telling you, this is the guy to watch right here, Mike's weather page. If you live anywhere on the East Coast or in the Gulf of Mexico region, Texas, Mike's weather page is probably, this guy's got the, again, I turn off, last couple of hurricanes, I turned off the Weather Channel and the local news, especially since they're so terrible in my opinion, and checked out Mike's weather page during these events. He does great commentary, and I think that he's pretty much spot on his assessments in most storms. I highly recommend him if you live in South Florida or anywhere on the eastern seaboard. And really, why am I giving you this information? Because it's about being prepared, not being fearful, but being prepared and being ready to react in the right way. And this is why we buy gold and silver, folks. I like to tie a lot of things in with each other. And that's exactly why you buy gold and silver, is to weather the storm, weather the economic storm that is inevitable, that we are going to hit at some point. And why gold and silver? Well, because we know one thing, historically speaking, gold and silver has been around for 5,000 years, out-survived fiat currencies, credit cards, corporations, empires, all right? So it's got a track record. When you depend on things for your survival, when you depend in a hurricane on having good information, like from Mike's weather page, or you depend on having water, being prepared with water, electricity, food, those things you need in case of emergency, that's real important. And you have to, you got to depend on these products that you buy. You got to depend that your water's good. So when it comes to economic storms, you have to depend on that your net wealth. That you preserve what you have. And what is one of the best ways to preserve your wealth out there, given the track record? 5,000 years, come on, who has a track record that long of being a secure form of wealth? No one. Gold and silver and platinum. Gold and silver primarily. So this is about being prepared, folks. Speaking about being prepared, what's going on with the precious metals markets? Absolutely nothing. Sideways, more or less, some downward trending. Silver hanging on to that $19. I shouldn't say hanging on. Perhaps we've seen our bottom right now. That was sub $19 silver. Oddly enough, silver hung on to that. I mean, it was below 19 for a little bit. Surprised the shit out of me. Listen, sub $20 surprised the shit out of me, but I've always said never underestimate, the crookedness in the COMEX markets. And folks, this sub $20 silver, this sub $30 silver, whatever you want to call it, sub $2,000 gold, sub $2,000 platinum, you just pick your number that's higher. The only reason these numbers are as low as they are has nothing to do with, people are fleeing into other assets because gold and silver are not attractive, or it's the old school stuff, or they're going into Bitcoin, or they'd rather be in cash. And the fact that treasuries are paying more, and that the interest rates are going up is going to really hurt gold. No, that's bullshit, folks. That's just a bullshit narrative. And maybe the algorithms for the big money managers and the algorithms for the big commercial banks use those. The algorithms for the commercial banks just use that data to spook the big, to spook the managed money out there that use algorithms and 50-day and moving averages and such to make their decisions. Boy, I'm kind of getting into all kinds of different things here. But listen, the whole frickin' market of gold, silver, and platinum price discovery, I'm going to say platinum, I don't know for sure, but gold and silver especially, the whole price discovery system for both these markets are completely rigged, monkey hammered, screwed. And I know a lot of folks out there say, well, why do I want to play in that market if it's monkey hammered? Well, I'll tell you two reasons why you want to play in that market. Because, it's not like you're buying a piece of paper that says you own something in XYZ company, or you own a treasury guaranteed by the promise of the United States, or whatever the hell it may be. You have an opportunity to buy gasoline at these prices. Think of gasoline. I've been saying this for a while. Gasoline at $1 a gallon. This is like gasoline at $1 a gallon. Steak at $2 a pound. Lobster at a couple bucks. This is like old prices. These prices should be much higher than that. But you get to buy the real product, just like buying steak, lobster, and gasoline. So you're not going to complain about buying that stuff super cheap, and that's what we got going on with gold, silver, and platinum. The game is rigged. And they rig these prices lower, but it gives us an opportunity to buy these prices so much cheaper. It's kind of like cheap oil that we enjoyed, this country enjoyed, our empire, the United States enjoyed for so many years because of the political influence in our military. And love it or hate it, how we got cheap oil and how this country became great after World War II because of cheap energy and outsourcing to cheap labor. Listen, we did it. Is that the nicest thing to do to other countries? Probably not. We worked off, we made money, we existed off the backs of others. Would there be a better way to do it? Perhaps. I'm not here to discuss that. But my point being is that we survived many years off of cheap oil. Now, was that good for oil investors or people that had long-term oil investments? No, they probably didn't like that at all. But the same thing with gold, silver, and platinum. You get an opportunity to really buy these wonderful metals at super cheap prices because of this manipulation in these markets. Again, there's no good reason for gold and silver and platinum to be this low, none whatsoever. The only explainable reason that has nothing to do with, oh, inflation's not as bad as they say, or they're just avoiding gold. The average Joe out there is avoiding. That's not true at all, folks. The average Joe out there is stacking gold and silver, still continually stacking gold and silver. So it's mistaken to think that it's the average Joe is why the gold and silver are down, because they're not buying as much. That's a bullshit narrative. The reason gold and silver is down so much because they're freaking monkey hammered on the crooked COMEX markets on a daily basis, and COMEX, a CME group, does nothing to stop it, more or less. The CFTC, which is the government organization that's supposed to stop that, does nothing to stop it. And they won't stop it, as Ted Butler says, because if they do, they'd have to admit that they let this continue for 30 or 40 years, all right? God, I could go on from there. And what's the point of this whole thing? Well, you get to buy this commodity, the real stuff, for cheap, man. It's like buying, again, gasoline at a buck a gallon, steak at, and at some point, the supply and demand factor, which they've told this market is not, gold and silver is not run on supply and demand, especially silver. That market's so screwed and manipulated. It's such a small market. Let's just take silver, for example, here. There you go. There's silver right there in the overnight markets. No reason for it to be that cheap. But the paper, they sell so much of this paper. It's so leveraged, and it's not backed by real silver, that there are big shortages of silver out there. And at some point, it's going to get so exaggerated that the paper price and the silver physical price are going to disconnect, which we've kind of seen with what we call premiums. But you can't look at premiums on smaller products like 1 ounce, 10 ounce generics, bars and kilos. You got to look at premiums on 1,000 ounce bars. When you start to see 1,000 ounce bars premium increase and get more and more and more, as they have, it shows you that there is a shortage of silver out there. Okay, so I mean that's a basic fact. Shortages in generic products also as well. If you can't find 1 ounce generic products or 10 ounce generic products or kilos, but that may also have to do with a large demand and limited supply through a limited amount of manufacturers that create this generic stuff. But there is no shortage of people buying gold and silver. The average Joe, as some people may say, that the only reason these markets suck is because of pure manipulation in these markets. And don't get disappointed. I know manipulation, monkey hammered. Some of you are probably thinking, again, why do I want to play that market? Because, folks, like I said, you're getting a real product, and on top of that, if you don't play, you can't win. And you could just sit on the sidelines and be a whiner your whole life and say, oh, it's a rigged game, I'm not going to play. But the beauty of knowing how the game is rigged is knowing that then you can, if you're sitting at a poker table, and I've said this many times with other card players, and you poker players, make a comment below if this is true. If you know exactly who's cheating and how they're doing it at that poker table, does that make you a stronger player at that table? Yes or no? And let me know if that's a good analogy in the comment section. Meanwhile, in this market of gold and silver, we know how the market's rigged. And how do you win in that market? Well, again, keep taking the physical off the market. Let them stick that paper. Let them keep that paper and stick it up their bums. Okay. And those paper derivatives, keep buying the steak. Don't buy the paper that promises that they owe you a steak. All right. Keep buying the steak out there. Let's see here. What a beautiful evening. Just looking outside. Well, let's take a look at the markets. One thing I have noticed, as I've been saying for a while, look what's in the red. We've been expecting that, but look what's in the red as well. Seems like when all these other markets have been in the red for the last month or two, that gold's been in the red with it. A little bit of divergence there. Gold has kind of not fallen as much as the other metals. Silver actually has gone up in the face of all this red right here in the last week or so. Silver, again, we saw a low mid 1850s, surprised the shit out of me, but again, provided a great buying opportunity as well. Speaking of buying opportunities, I'm going to get into what the best deals out there and why you should buy from me. My shameless plug for myself. We'll get to that in a little bit. But markets across the board sucking wins. Futures market in silver as well, down 1.81%. That's not hard to do when a 35-cent move at sub $20 silver. 2% is not a lot of money. Again, great opportunity to buy the real stuff, folks. And at some point, we're going to I think we're going to just see this market go crazy. But man, we've all been waiting for it, even myself. And but you know it's going to happen, just never when you want it to. And when do you want it to happen? Well, about 2 years ago. And I wanted to know exactly what day so I could make those big leverage bets and make billions of dollars and go buy my private island. And now I'm dreaming. It's about wealth preservation primarily, folks. If you're buying gold and silver for that, you're going to do well. But I think we're all going to be rewarded with much higher prices at some point too because of this manipulation. U.S. dollar index up at 110. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean that your dollar buys more. If you want to know why your dollar doesn't buy more, just look at the CPI for urban consumers, purchasing power of the consumer dollar in the U.S. average city, which is in a free fall since when? Basically 1930, a little bump there when FDR stole all the gold from everybody. Let's take a look at the 1 year chart, just in case you don't believe me here. Look, it's just downward, even more so under this current administration that has... There is no fiscal conservatives in D.C., by the way, folks, either the red or blue party. But the blue party even doubles down on their stupid, even more than the red party, in my opinion. Both parties are stupid, but there are no fiscal conservatives up there. They just spend and frickin' spend. They have no clue what a fiat dollar is. That's why they hand all the power to the bankers. But no less, this is why the price of gold is going to continue to climb. This is why gold is probably one of the best preservations, the best things that you can buy for the preservation of wealth. And again, physical, folks. Nice thing about physical is you hold it in your hand. Some bank or some private corporation is not holding your metal, which you take a big risk when someone else is holding your metals. No matter how well-intentioned they are, if they get taken down, they take you down with it. If you give your grandmother all your gold and silver and grandma goes down, guess where your gold and silver goes, folks? No better reason to hold it. Hold it to yourself. Don't leave it in the banks. And that gets into good hiding places, which I've talked about as well many times. All right, this is why. Oh, and again, the dollar index doesn't mean that you're buying more stuff, as we just kind of looked here at the CPI. It just means the dollar is doing better against the other fiat turds like the euro and the pesos and all that other fiat turds. Well, anyways, fiat turds, I like that word. What's the best deals out there? Well, I'm going to get into that with gold and silver. I'm going to tell you in a moment. It hasn't changed much, so some of you guys may want to fast forward this if you've heard me say this a few times, but it hasn't changed much in the last month at all. Premiums are still kind of high on all these products. And who am I? I am Brian Kuzmar. I own Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. There's our site. And we're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Our brick and mortar here. You can buy as little as a 1/10 ounce of silver or gold, or even a gram of gold, and a gram of silver. I think we even got those. I wouldn't buy them; they're overpriced. Not my fault, but the premiums are too high. But our products are cheaper than any of the locals down here, and we also advertise to be Atmex, JM Bullion, SD Bullion. And let me show you our other company here, which is... Where'd it go? Okay, there we go. ConciergeBullion.com. I created this company to, again, Commercial Rare Coins is our local business here. And forgive me, folks, we'll get through this real quick and other stuff. This is my little plug for myself, why I do the videos. It's about business and education. If I can educate you folks, you'll send me some business. And I'm sorry, I lost myself here. ConciergeBullion.com is... for folks that live anywhere in the continental U.S. that are going to buy more than 100 ounces of gold, more than 2,500 ounces of silver. We work the old-fashioned method with bank wires and such and secured delivery methods. So again, if you live anywhere in the United States and you're going to buy more than 100 ounces of gold, more than 2,500 ounces of silver, call us at ConciergeBullion.com. If you live in the state of Florida and you're buying and selling any amount of gold or silver, rare coins and other things as well, come and see us at our store at I was going to give you my phone number, between 10 and 4 Mondays through Fridays. Been in this location since 95. I've been doing this since 1977. Okay, my plug is over. Where am I going from here? Oh, best deals. Whether you're buying from me, whether you're buying from anyone else out there, these are the best deals, folks. I'm going to tell you what to look for. Gold bars, you still can't beat the price on them. Where is my sheet here? Speaking of sheets, where the heck is it? Hang on, I'm going to move to this other desk over here. And, oh boy, you should never walk away from a microphone like that, but I am not a professional at this, so bear with me. I can't find my spreadsheets, damn it. Well, all right. I believe gold bars, you should be able to pay no more than spot plus 69 bucks in small quantities. That gets quite a bit lower. Oh gosh, I know where my spread is. Hang on one sec here. That's probably a cardinal sin doing YouTube videos, walking across the room. All right, on super large quantities, on large quantities on Krugerrands, as low as 75 bucks. On smaller quantities, as high as 90 bucks. On small quantities, not as high, but that's what Krugerrands are going to run you. American Eagles can be as low as 145 bucks, as high as 160 bucks over spot. Canadian Maple Leafs as low as 77 bucks, as high as $97. 1 ounce gold bars and cards as low as 59, as high as 69 bucks. And Chinese gold pandas as low as 90, as high as 175, but that has to do with what dates you're buying. I think those new 30-gram pandas are a little bit cheaper. So that's the best deals out there, folks. I think bars, again, by far the best deal. If you're going to buy more than, 100 bars, 100 ounces of gold from us, they're like spot plus 59 or 60 bucks. Again, we advertise to be at MexJM Bullion, SD Bullion. And on large deals, we'll beat Miles Franklin and all as well. Miles Franklin and the other big companies as well on large deals. And I think those are great companies, by the way. I use them only because I'm just trying to, again, if you're going to compete against someone, why not compete against the best out there? And I think those guys are good. That's why I advertise to beat them. As far as silver, what's the best deal out there? Man, it's still silver bars. It's still the 100-ounce bars at spot plus 290. And it's 1 ounce rounds at spot plus 4 1/4 or less. Kilos, I forget what they're at, and 10-ounce bars, still the best deal out there. What is not the best deal? Not the best deal is, here I'm typing it as we speak, you know what I'm going to say. The worst deal out there is Silver Eagles. I'm sorry, folks, but they're just overpriced. In fact, any of you folks that are holding any kind of quantity of Silver Eagles, if you bring them into me, or we'll trade them. And again, I am not selling my customers Silver Eagles, so they're going to get some snarky ass comment by someone. Oh, you just want to buy the Silver Eagles for yourself? No, bullshit. You know what I do with Silver Eagles? I immediately sell them to other dealers because I think the premiums are so high, and I don't like my customers buying high premium shit. By the way, cheers to all of you tonight. I'm going to take a sip here of a martini I made, and that's a warm martini. All right. Grey Goose. Thank you. The French do that well. I think it's French. So Silver Eagles are not the best deal out there. In fact, if you trade in Silver Eagles, whether it's me or someone else, you can trade your Silver Eagles in. For example, you can get. Let's see here. Let me do a little math here. Say you got 100 Silver Eagles. You got 5 rolls of them, and I'm just going to use 1930 as a silver price. You should be able to get on smaller quantities. $25. Let's see if that works. $25 per Silver Eagle. 25.30. Now let's see, 1930. And if you trade them in for a 100-ounce bar, that's going to be $290 minus. Give me 1 second. 19.3 plus 2.9. 22.2. So what can you buy with that? Sorry about that. I should have done the math earlier. Well, that is a difference of, $3.10 an ounce. So what is that? $3.10 an ounce times 100 is $310. You know what that means? You can buy yourself more than 10 ounces and more silver. So wow, what a great trade, trading Silver Eagles for generic bars. You could walk into your local dealer. You can walk in to me. I hope I did the math right. Sorry about that. I was doing it on the fly. But you can walk into me and trade your Silver Eagles in for more silver with no money out of your pocket. And again, take advantage of these stupid high premiums on Silver Eagles, in my opinion, that is artificially created, stupid high price. Not artificially, but somewhat artificially created. Again, silver is silver is silver. It's you know why we call generic 1 ounce and 10 ounce and 100 ounce bars generic? Because it's like a generic drug. You can go over to your local drugstore and you can buy Walgreens or whatever your Eckerd's, boy, they haven't been around for a long time, whatever your local drugstore is, get their local brand of Advil, and for 100 pills, I'm making this up, but you can pay like, $8. And then you go to get the Advil brand, which is the exact same freaking ingredients, and pay twice as much. So that's why we call this stuff generic versus the sovereign products. You're going to pay. I think the wholesale buy price is between $6 and $8, and the sell price is even higher. Gosh, 10, 11, 12 bucks on the sell price. Big spread on them as well. So you can take advantage of these super high premiums and put more Advil in your pocket, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get into yesterday's video, and let me take a look, see if there's any questions I can answer here. Thank you all for commenting. Make sure you hit that like button there, and if you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Hey man, that's free world, and that's why they put that button there. And please hit that subscribe button as well. I don't have it here on this page, but hit that subscribe button wherever it is on your page. I appreciate that as well. And the little bell there will keep you informed when my new videos come up too. The crash is coming. Gold bottom at 1,300 by next spring. Silver at 13 bucks. Ben, I just can't agree with that at all. I just don't see that happening. I've seen the extended trashing of both these metals, and it's just unsustainable. It's just unsustainable. The market's already broken, so I can't see how they could break it that much further. And even if it did get to that level in these broken, crooked markets, you're never going to buy gold at that level or silver at that level. It's just not going to happen. Thanks for commenting, Ben. I disagree with you on that, and I hope you have yourself a good day. Again, thanks for watching too. Guy, I'm glad you're back there watching. Sorry, I just haven't done the morning videos. I do want to get back to it, and I will, and appreciate that. KS Coins, talking about what I just was telling you folks here. He said he sold American Silver Eagles, sold 10 at 40 bucks each. 40 bucks each, really? Silver Eagles, were they proofs? Purchased 2 5-ounce and 5-gram platinum bars, putting 17 bucks out of pocket. That is a great deal. Wow, good deal, KS Coins. Chris Dutcher, what's up, dude? Hope you had a great time. I love California. What I don't love about California is the government there. But I love California, even all its crazy peoples. And I'm glad you had a good time and you're right, the Pacific is just beautiful. I mean, this is my coast over here, and the Atlantic, but I love the Pacific. I was almost going to retire out there, about a dozen years ago. I was considering retiring out there one day, but not quite so anymore. The prices are just freaking crazy, and there you go. I agree with you 100% right there. John, yeah, it's quiet out there, dude. I'm telling you. On Hollywood, haven't seen the street this quiet since mid-pandemic. Yeah, it's quiet, John. The recession, there's supposed to be no recession because they changed the verbiage of or they changed what a recession is supposed to be, the definition. But there's a recession going on. I can see it around me. I can see it at the restaurants. I can see it at the beach. I can see it with the tourism. Yeah, quiet, deader than a doornail. Hey, nice to meet you, John, and I love California too, man. Los Angeles, you're crazy. Uber driver? You got some balls. That's just my opinion. Jeff, and thanks for commenting. Thanks for watching. The BRICS won't need dollars anymore. Everyone's de-dollarizing, Jeff. Absolutely true. Crash is coming on gold and silver. James Lemon. I'm curious, James. I don't see it. I think we're already there. But no less, let me know why you think that in the comment section below, and give me a little more than what you said here. It's hard to go on what you're saying, but if you got a good reason why you think a bigger crash is coming on gold and silver, let me know. I disagree, but I'm curious why you think so. William, sudden plunge in crypto has been attributed to the Fed's expecting interest rates. Bitcoin is on uptrend. I know what that is. Oh, I just got rickrolled by a crypto ad. Yeah, I heard some good remarks about him lately. Fucking scammers. There we go. We just removed that real quick. Bob Myers, yeah, Proof Eagles. I think you should for sure. Wholesale on Proof Silver Eagles right now. What I can get for them, not what you can get for them, Bob. What I can get for them is 80 bucks. Around 80 or 82 bucks, as long as they have their box and papers. They're worth about 82 bucks each. That's what your local dealer should be getting for them. Everyone has a different profit margin as well as we do, but that's what the wholesale is on them. What's up, Gary? Thank you. Joe Rock says a matter of time before the filth, the crime mix in London to wash away the bricks and other. Yep, absolutely, Joe Rock. Appreciate you watching. Steven made it to Daytona Beach, and my timeshare is 3 hours down to your shop, which is stretched. So I took the gas money, bought a couple ounces of ale. Can't argue with that, man. And you kept it local in Daytona. Good for you, Steve W. Hope you had a good time. The weather's been a little hot, as you know. Hey, appreciate the thought of coming down here. And nice purchase. Nice purchase. Oh, gold and silver ratio. Hey, what's up, Celeste? Beat gold 86 to 1 still. The gold and silver ratio is staying about the same. As I've been saying, where gold goes, silver will follow. I have, again, a conspiratorial view that the reason gold was dropped down like it was by the same commercial banks that typically go in and monkey hammer the silver prices is because of where gold goes, silver will follow. I think they're still trying to keep the silver price in check. And the best way to do that, keep the gold price in check. And I believe that's what they've done. Again, conspiratorial on my part, but I think there's people out there smarter than me that believe the same thing. Tree Climber and Joey, what's up? And Welco Services, some of my longtime viewers and commenters out there. I hope you guys are having a great day. That's it. This is Brian with Commercial Rare Coins and ConciergeBullion.com. As I say, think for yourself, question authority. And really appreciate you guys watching. Again, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you live in South Florida, please come see us in our store 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Been there since 1995 at Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. There's our phone number. Again, open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays. Can do whatever you need as far as gold and silver goes, any amounts. And if you don't live in the state of Florida and you can't come in business at Commercial Rare Coins or brick and mortar, if you're buying more than 100 ounces of gold and more than 2,500 ounces of silver, please call us or fill out our contact information here at ConciergeBullion.com. And we do things the old school methods with bank wires and secure methods of shipping. Hey, that's it. Thanks for watching, folks. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and let's see what happens tomorrow. Good night now.